Ryan Fitzpatrick, who joins us. We have the Niners and the Giants coming up Thursday night football. And Ryan, of course, one of the analysts there on the program. Prime Video starts at 8:15 Eastern, Thursday night football tonight. All right. Is it in your contract that you must keep your beard?
So I don't think it's written in the contract, although it was mentioned to me that it was a very important thing that I kept my beard. So I am not shaving it. I also, just funny anecdote, was doing a commercial and they were nervous. I shaved my chest hair. So they had yak hair that just in case I had shaved my chest hair, because that was going to be a big part of the commercial.
They put yak hair on your chest for the commercial.
Yeah, let me see. I got it in here somewhere. It's in my trophy case, but just in case they had it on set because they were nervous that I was shaving my chest.
Okay. Well, is it part of your identity, though? Do you feel like that if you did shave, does that take away something from you?
Yeah, I mean, I could be completely anonymous if I shaved my beard. I don't think people would recognize me, but my kids are kind of the driving force behind it now. My daughters have no interest. They've seen me shave my beard once or twice and have no interest ever seeing that man again.
Wow. All right, that's all we needed to know, Ryan. Have a great game tomorrow night. We were just talking about the Hall of Fame. Dion has brought this up before. Could you have a top floor that will differentiate the first ballot Hall of Famers? So you make it's special for the Hall of Fame. Now you get something that's even more special for guys who are first ballot Hall of Famers. What do you think of that idea?
I think it's a great idea. It's going to be interesting coming up here, just the way that the stats have blown up in the last 15 years, especially with quarterback play. When Richard Sherman and I love to have these debates all the time of, is he a first ballot guy? Is he going to get in the Hall of Fame? But if you strictly look at numbers of some of these guys, you're looking at Matt Ryan's numbers, you're looking at Matthew Stafford's numbers. Now Russell Wilson, the first one to ever do what he did with the passing yards and the rushing yards, and he's got a Super Bowl under his belt. It's like, how many of these guys are we looking at that we're saying, well, gosh, I guess I could see him getting in the Hall of Fame. I think making a tier or a distinction is a good idea.
Matthew Stafford, Hall of Famer?
He's one of my favorite quarterbacks I've ever watched, but I just think there were too many empty years in Detroit.
Okay. Matt Ryan?
I think if he wins that Super Bowl, it becomes very easy, but I mean, Matt Ryan, statistically, I don't have it in front of me, but I think he's probably top 5 in yards in his career or somewhere up there. So he had some pretty good years in Atlanta. I would say yes.
He's got 63,000 yards.
Yeah, I'm telling you, some of these discussions are going to happen with these quarterbacks coming up. It's going to be very difficult. It's going to be difficult to get in, but it's going to be difficult to say no to a lot of these guys with their numbers.
Can Russell Wilson play himself out of the Hall of Fame?
Yes.
Is he playing himself out of the Hall of Fame?
Yes, I think he is. That's going to be an interesting one this week too, at Miami. Or I don't know if they're playing Miami, but whose fault is that going to be as that continues to go south? Is that Sean Payton or is that wristband Russell? I think we're all intrigued on that one.
But I don't know what happened. Like, how does you go from being this, Hall of Fame quarterback, unbelievable career, and then all of a sudden you fall off, the cliff here? What happens?
Yeah, I mean, I think sometimes you don't know how good you have it until it's gone. And that was a historic defense in Seattle. That was a great situation that he was put in. Look, and he played really well. And, it just, as soon as this whole let Russ cook thing happened, and he wanted to go to another place because he wants to have more control and show that he can do it somewhere else, the grass is not always greener. And I think this is a situation that definitely points to that.
Talking to Ryan Fitzpatrick, you can see him tomorrow night. It'll be Amazon Prime Video. Andrew Whitworth, Tony Gonzalez. Let's see who else. Oh, our good friend Carissa Thompson is going to be there. Richard Sherman's going to be there pre-halftime and post-game show. Coverage at 7 Eastern. The game's at 8:15. I know you played in the Ivy League. Buddy Teevens, the great Dartmouth head coach, just passed away. It was quite the innovator. I don't know if you what your recollection was of Buddy at Dartmouth.
Yeah, we lost a great man. I mean, he did great things for Dartmouth, for the Ivy League, and really for the game of football in general. And he was best friends with my coach, Tim Murphy. And so I got to know him over the years. He ran the Peyton and Eli Manning Passing Academy. So he meant a lot to the game of football and even just health and safety of the players, some innovative things that he did at Dartmouth. So I appreciate you for bringing that up. And we certainly lost a great man.
Yeah, we had him on a couple of times. He was a great interview and really an innovator ahead of his time with college football at Dartmouth. I was wondering about this strategy. Brian Dable is saying Saquon Barkley could be available tomorrow night. And I was wondering about that. I don't know if it's gamesmanship, but it also puts a little more pressure on Saquon Barkley that, he's supposed to be out 3 weeks. Now your coach is saying, hey, you might be available tomorrow night. So then maybe it's you. Why aren't you playing? Because your coach is saying this. Is Brian just saying, do you expect Saquon Barkley to play tomorrow night?
Well, as an employee and analyst for Amazon, I fully expect Saquon to play.
Of course. So
make sure you tune in.
Of course.
But watching the end of that game, and the way his expression, his frustration, his face, the way that the ankle got tweaked, there's no chance he's playing in this game. It's gamesmanship. It's Dable just making sure that they have to still prepare a little bit for Saquon if he plays, but I don't think anybody believes that. And so that doesn't put a whole lot of pressure on Saquon because I think it's just the coach talking. Now, once you apply a timetable to him and you say, okay, this is a mild ankle sprain, 3 weeks, that as a player is tough because there's now undue pressure on you to hurry up and get back on the field. And as players, we're trying to do the best we can to be out there and be available.
Did you ever face somebody who was in that category with Micah Parsons?
He is unbelievable. I think there were some years, J.J. Watt, there were some years where he was unblockable. Aaron Donald, unblockable. But Micah Parsons is quickly becoming the guy, the face of the NFL. It's really scary. And I think Dan Quinn is so innovative in the way that he's going to be able to put him in different spots and rush him because look, a lot of an offense and what can you do versus a great pass rusher? Well, you could chip, but all of a sudden we saw last week, they put Micah Parsons on the outside. They run a game where he steps up and then runs around into the inside. So they know how teams are going to try to block Micah. They're going to move him around. It's hard to double him on every play, but he's as good as it gets. And he is a scary, scary player right now.
I didn't understand the Jets' philosophy here, the game plan. You have Zach Wilson on the road against Dallas, and you run the ball 11 times. You have 2 good running backs. Why not just, Bill Parcells used to say the best way to go at a great defender is to go at the defender. Don't let him try to catch up with the play because LT, Micah Parsons, they have the athleticism to do it. Why not just run the football and take away a little bit of the pressure off Zach Wilson?
Yeah, sometimes it's a head scratcher, but, I'm sure that was the intent going into the game. That's what they wanted to do. As the score gets away from you a little bit, as you're trying to play this game of catch up and figure out as you're getting behind the chains, okay, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? It just gets difficult as a play caller. Did they want Breece Hall to touch the ball 4 times? No. I mean, I think we saw the week before what they want Breece Hall to be. They want a healthy dose of Breece, a healthy dose of Dalvin Cook, take some pressure off of young Zach Wilson. But it's difficult sometimes when you get in those games because you go in with one plan and then all of a sudden you look back after the game and think, gosh, we really screwed up here. But a lot of that is, a play caller trying to look at that scoreboard and make up points when you can't really put it all on Zach Wilson.
When you heard that the Niners were going to reach out to Phillip Rivers if they had made the Super Bowl with the injuries to their quarterbacks. Now, did you think that maybe you could volunteer? Did they call you to see if you wanted, if you could have been able to play last year, if they had gone to the Super Bowl? Did they contact you, or did you think about reaching out to them?
No, they did not contact me, and I did not think about reaching out. But the Phillip Rivers thing is interesting with a quarterback. With the receiver, with the running back, you can't really just come off the street after missing 15, 16 weeks of an NFL season, then into the playoffs and play as a quarterback. That might be the one position. Kicker, do we count them? I don't know, that you could actually do it. I don't know what kind of shape Phillip was in, but he's so sharp up here that probably would have been the best option.
What if the Jets called you to be a backup for Zach Wilson?
No chance. Physically, I had a hip injury at the end of my career. I don't know where I'd be with that, but I love what I'm doing right now with Amazon. Love my family life. I gave 17 years of my life fully committed to the game of football. And with that became a lot of sacrifices away from my family. And so I'm perfectly content at what I'm doing right now and absolutely loving being involved with Amazon and getting to do the Thursday night gig. So I'm happy where I am. So no chance.
What's the coolest thing in your office there?
Well, I'd say the chest hair, but one of the kids must have grabbed it. Maybe they're wearing it to school. I've got a lot of cool stuff. Let me grab one real fast. Hold on.
Okay. Talking to Ryan Fitzpatrick.
This was my
Thursday night game.
This was my childhood helmet that I used to wear throwing the ball in the front yard. And it just so happened that in 2005, with the 250th pick, this was also the first NFL team I ever played for. So that one is pretty neat for me.
It looks like something that the Brady bunch may have worn, the Rams helmet that they wore.
Yeah. It doesn't fit anymore either. I don't want to mess up my hair. I styled it.
Your hair looks good. Hair looks good.
Thank you. Well, it's my TV hair. Yeah.
No, you did great job there. We'll be watching tomorrow night. Always great to talk to you. Thank you for your opinions, and have a great day.
All right. Thank you. We'll see you.
That's Ryan Fitzpatrick. You can see him tomorrow night. 7 Eastern is when they start. Thursday Night Football tonight. Kickoff at Prime Video at 8:15 Eastern.